Hi everyone, this is Allison with ClickDimensions, and we're going to go ahead and get started here in a few moments. Just wanted to give a few individuals additional time to get logged in so they can join in on the presentation for today.
Thank you, Allison, and thank you everyone for joining us for the Ringing Up Retail Success with ClickDimensions and Microsoft Dynamics CRM webinar. I'm so glad you could join us. If you have any questions during the course of the webinar, please feel free to type them in the questions box to your right, or go ahead and raise your hand and we'll get those answered at the end. We'll also be unmuting the phone lines at the end so you can speak up then with any questions. And now I'd like to pass it over to Allison from ClickDimensions.
All right, awesome. Well, thank you so much for that introduction. So again, everyone, my name is Allison January, and I'm one of our senior partner account managers here at ClickDimensions. So just want to first start off by thanking everyone who's taken time out of their day to listen into the presentation. So for our call today, we're going to be talking about ringing up retail success with ClickDimensions in conjunction with Dynamics CRM. So ClickDimensions really enables retailers to automate and streamline many aspects of attracting and nurturing consumers while increasing the effectiveness of these activities. So in particular, and for our conversation today, we're going to discuss some of the functionality ClickDimensions offers for retailers like yourself and how to get the ROI you're looking for within some of the campaigns. So just to kind of briefly go over the agenda, for today we're really going to be focusing again on Microsoft Dynamics CRM and marketing automation working together. So for those of you that are not familiar with ClickDimensions, I'm going to spend the first maybe like 3 to 5 minutes giving a very high level introduction into our solution and who we are as an organization. Then it has a few slides with some statistics that I want to share with everyone to kick off the presentation. After that, we'll jump into some of the topics below. So first and foremost, we're going to discuss what it means to create, send, and track personalized emails and why that's important. Then we're going to jump over to nurture marketing to discuss why nurture marketing is important at this point in 2016. And then from there, we're going to go over to event management and SMS messaging. So again, we'll close up the call with some time left for Q&A, but these are really the items that we're going to start off our conversation with for the call today. So what is ClickDimensions? For those of you that are not familiar with ClickDimensions, ClickDimensions is an email marketing and marketing automation solution that you can use to perform end-to-end marketing tactics. So we give you all the functionality listed on this slide right inside the UI of Microsoft Dynamics CRM. So ClickDimensions allows you to measure the results of all of your campaigns and really helps to eliminate the redundant and manual processes, ultimately helping you make better business decisions because you have better data. And what's great about this is you don't ever have to leave Dynamics CRM to do things like create your email campaigns, track web visits, build web content like landing pages, forms, surveys, and then you can do things like build your multi-touch drip marketing campaigns. So a full-featured marketing automation platform for Dynamics CRM. So really quick, let's talk about the traditional marketing scenario that we hear quite often. So most of the companies that we consult with are telling us this story. They're using Microsoft Dynamics CRM to manage their consumer information, their marketing list, and then they're using something completely different for email marketing. And these two systems may have an overlap, but it's not a native integration between the email marketing platform and CRM. So you have the issues in this instance with data syncing from one system to another, and maybe your list in CRM are not the same thing as the list in your email marketing provider. And then your source campaign in CRM is not the same campaign as in your email marketing service provider. So you have leads that don't match up. A lot of companies out there are even using multiple applications for other tasks. They may be using something like SurveyMonkey, they may be utilizing other applications for web forms, or even for website analytics. And the problem is that you've got all of these applications, but nothing's really talking to one another. So it's something that marketers are trying to move away from today. And so what we do at ClickDimensions is we bring all of that data and all of the functionality into one centralized place that flows directly into your CRM. Our application is actually built on Microsoft Windows Azure. And the way our solution works is we connect to the website with tracking scripts. If you want to track every page on your website, great. You can put the script on your global footer, or you can be strategic about the page views and visit records you want to push into CRM, and maybe only put that tracking script on very strategic pages. We have an email service. We send out those emails for our clients. And so we use Azure Send for that. And as the data comes back in from campaigns, your website analytics, your statistics like your opens and your clicks and all of that great data, instead of holding that up in another application through a dedicated user, we use Microsoft Dynamics CRM and just push that data back into your CRM environment. So what that means for an organization who's investing in CRM today is you can really ask that data to do what you want it to do. You're not in the situation where it lands in another database, where it's inaccessible. The power of querying your data, advanced finds, workflows, dashboards, you can really manipulate the data however you need to. So why use marketing automation? Let's talk about some trends. So marketing automation is proving to be a vital part of the success of companies in nearly every industry and market, especially in retail. So businesses that use marketing automation to nurture prospects experience over a 400% increase in more qualified leads. Another positive trend that we're seeing is companies that use automated lead management or nurture marketing increase revenue by 10% in less than 9 months. Nurtured leads are also making 47% larger purchases due to things like personalizing the content and the messaging and automation campaigns that are being sent out. Now, this is a stat that's been around for a little bit through Forrester, but it shows that companies that are using Nurture are generating more sales-ready leads at 33% lower cost. Now, another positive benefit from Nurture marketing is that you utilize personalized emails within your Nurture. Studies are showing you will significantly increase the click rate and conversion rate by more than 10%. So lead Nurture emails get 4 to 10 times the response rate than an actual single email blast that you're sending out. Now, here's a great slide that reflects the buying cycle while using an automated process to stay in front of your target audience. So this is broken down into 5 main areas. So we have retention and loyalty. This is all about setting up a process to keep current customers engaged with your company and help to build that brand loyalty, keeping those clients coming back and ringing up more items. Awareness is also a key component of automated campaigns. This will help make potential consumers aware of your brand and will help your company stay top of mind when they're looking to make the next purchase. Research is all about being a trusted resource for individuals to help with their buying options. Evaluation is where we want to build credibility to overcome objections and why they should purchase from your company and not the competition. And to complete the circle of trust, the purchase, closing the deal with strong call to actions and buying incentives. For example, receive a 10% discount if you purchase an item online this weekend. All right, so these are all things that we're going to talk about as we get into the platform today. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump over to an example that we've put together for today's conversation, ringing up sales while nurturing. We're going to be taking a close look at Astor's department stores and how they're using ClickDimensions. Now, before you get excited and start Googling about a new department store, Astor's is a made-up company that we're leveraging to tell the story of how retailers are using ClickDimensions. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump over into our live environment and spend the rest of the time there. But don't worry, so everything that we're looking at in CRM today is a part of my slide deck, and I'll be sending that out over or after the call for everyone to reference back to. All right. Now, while we're getting started here, the first thing that I want to do is I want to show everyone kind of around within CRM before we get started into this scenario. So this is our production environment that we use here at ClickDimensions. So things may look a little bit different than they look in your environment, and it's just because it's tailored to how we utilize the solution. But I'm going to be presenting on this today just so I can show you some real-time statistics and reporting around campaigns. Now, when you log into CRM, this is CRM 2016 online, directly within the navigation, you have your sales, marketing, service settings. You'll also have an alternate navigation component for ClickDimensions. So within this area, this is again where we can get to all of that ClickDimensions functionality. So if we have an upcoming promotion and we want to start to build out an email template, this is where we go for that. When we want to send out that promotion, this is where we go for that. So we're going to start off on the email template side, and then we're going to build up into some other examples here. So let me pull open our template that we're going to be taking a look at. So with ClickDimensions, while we're getting started here, when you're ready to build out an email campaign to actually send out to individuals, this is again the area that you'll come to for that. So all you have to do is hit New, give it a name, subject line, pre-header, and then you can specify the editor type. Now, with ClickDimensions, we do offer 4 separate types of email editors. So from a marketing perspective, we have everything from a drag and drop editor on into our block editor, which are geared towards individuals that maybe don't want to have to do a whole lot with HTML. From there, we have a freestyle editor. This is for marketers that are maybe wanting to be able to modify the HTML. And then we have a custom HTML editor. So this is for individuals that are maybe building something out in like Adobe or Dreamweaver. You can just copy and paste that HTML over. All right. So once we specify that information for this presentation today, we're going to be looking at our drag and drop editor to see how we're actually building out this template. So with Astor Department Stores, as they've always been known for delivering, you know, that first-in-class customer experience, and they wanted to extend that experience to their online marketing efforts. So with using this drag and drop editor, the company's marketing team can easily create those personalized emails with data from CRM. So just to give you a statistic here, 54% of consumers would consider ending their relationship with a retailer if they're not given tailor-made relevant content and offers. So this example that we're looking at today, this is again the drag and drop editor. So we have our layout here on the right-hand side, and then we can add in our content pieces. Now you'll notice our individual blocks here. If I click on this one, we've added in some personalization. So when we're sending this out, we're going to automatically include that individual's first name. So because ClickDimensions is native to CRM, we can add in all of our personalization. So any information that we have on that individual level, we can drop directly within the template. So again, if we wanted to go in and find that individual's first name, all we have to do is hit first name, hit add, and it'll add in that script for us. All right, and dynamically pull in their first name. Now, also as we're building out these templates, we can add in if-then statements. So if we wanted to utilize something like free marker, so if they were looking at this on our website, or if they've recently purchased this item, then we want to send them XYZ items. So that's an option there as well. So in this example, we're just offering a few discounts, 40% off shorts, 25% off dresses. So we want to send this out, and we want to try to see, you know, how many individuals are receiving this email, what is the click-through rate, what is that return, how many individuals actually went out and purchased some of these items. Okay. Now, aside from that, really quickly, before we take a look at actually sending out this campaign to a group of individuals, a few other things that you can include within this template is we do offer subscription management. So with subscription management, this is where you can leverage ClickDimensions to include subscription pages within your email template to allow individuals to opt in and out of receiving certain content. So maybe you want individuals to be able to opt in to receive you know, special offers that are coming up, new arrivals, you know, women's clothing and accessory, or maybe even if you have a loyalty program, if you want to allow individuals to be able to opt in and out of receiving that content, you can link in your subscription management pages here. And so that's extremely helpful from a retail perspective because you're not losing them altogether. You can actually tailor down what type of content they want to receive from you. So once we build out this template itself, you'll notice that there are a few images in here. One thing to point out really quickly is we do have our image manager. So you can upload images to this. We can organize everything out into a folder. So I have my AJ demo folder. I could go in, select an image, hit OK, and drop it within the template. Now, another thing in terms of ease of use, we do have our photo editor. So if we wanted to go in and modify the image, so resize it, crop it, change the orientation, you can do all of that directly within CRM. All right. We can also go in and do a preview, or we can run what's called an inbox preview. And unfortunately, I did not run this before the webinar, so my apologies there. But what this does is it essentially is going to take our template and it's going to start to send it out to about 50 different email clients, and it'll start to render back exactly what that template will look like as we're sending it out to individuals that may be viewing it on Outlook, iPhone, iPad, AOL is still an option, Gmail, and so it'll pull in what that template would look like as it's rendering on the different email clients. Okay, now a part of this, if we scroll up here, is we also get a spam filter. So this will tell us the likelihood of our template getting caught in a spam filter dependent upon some of those email clients that we're sending to. All right, so once we've built out our template, we're ready to get our promotion out. We're ready to send out this campaign to individuals to try to get them to purchase some of these items. So from here, we can go into our email send. Now, there's a few ways that we can do this. We can either do mass communications, which is essentially sending a one-off email to a group of individuals, or we can set up an automated process. So the first way that we're going to look here is going to be more so sending out a mass communication. So this could be, you know, in regards to new arrivals that are coming out or specials, potential sales that your organization is having. So when you go in to send out a mass communication, all we have to do is hit new. We pull in the template that we've created. It'll pull in our pre-header subject line. We can also associate this back to a CRM campaign. Now we're going to be taking a look at campaigns here because this is really relevant in determining how your overall campaign is doing within all aspects. So you can really start to see the ROI from that perspective. Now we can also specify who the email should come from, when the email should be sent, and then we can pull in a list of individuals that we would like to send this campaign out to. Now with ClickDimensions, since we are native to CRM, we do leverage a lot of CRM's native functionality. So in this case, we're sending out to a static list, but we could send out to a dynamic marketing list as well. So just to give you a little bit of insight, your static list, that's going to be a one-off list that you want to send to. Your dynamic list, those are going to be more of like your subscription, so what have individuals opted into. So as they're opting in and out, it'll dynamically remove those individuals to the marketing list when you go to do that email send. Now, before we actually send this out, one key component for retailers is being able to test multiple strategies against one another. So in this case, with Aster, we want to maybe test separate promotions against one another. So everything we've specified on our email send is pulling in as our strategy A. So within our strategy A, we had clothing that was featured at the top, while accessories were featured at the bottom of the email template. So for our strategy B, maybe we want to go in and we want to modify that template so accessories are at the top of the email and maybe the clothing is at the bottom of the email. You can test things like your subject line, who the email is coming from, or again, we can go in and we can modify our template to create strategy B. Now, once we do that, we can hit next. Oh, hang on one second. Let me make a modification here. Once we do that, we can hit next. And it'll essentially allow us to decide which portion of our marketing list do we want to test. So in this case, this was a very small sample marketing list that I sent out to, but this is essentially a drag and drop area where we can go in and we can specify the percentage of our marketing list that we want to test. So maybe we want to, in this case, send 16% of our marketing list, our strategy A, which has the clothing at the top and the accessories at the bottom of the email template. And then maybe we want to send 16% of our marketing list strategy B, which has the reverse there. So dependent upon whoever has the highest unique, let's say, click rate after so many hours, days, or weeks, that winning strategy will go to the remaining of your marketing list. So all of the individuals will receive that winning strategy that are left or remaining within that marketing list. So from here, we can save and send it, and then we can start to view some statistics. So if we scroll down, we can see how many people did we send this email to? What did their interaction rate look like? So their unique clicks versus total clicks, or our opens versus total opens. If we scroll down a bit further, we can start to see our deliverability, so any soft bounces versus hard bounces. And one other component within building your email template is you can add in your social links. So if anyone had shared out our content on one of these social platforms, it would pull in that information here. So if someone shared out one of our accessories or a dress that we had within the template, we could pull in which platform it was shared out and who actually shared that content. Now, aside from this, we can actually drill into this and we can see everyone that we've sent the email to, but we can also go in and we can do some additional reporting. So we do have a heat map report. So with this heat map report, it'll show us the percentage of our recipients that actually clicked on the individual links within the template. So from a marketer's perspective, this is really just allowing you to kind of see what you've sent out and where the interactions have been within the campaign. So the next time you're generating a special offer or a promotion, you know exactly what type of content to include for your consumers. Now, from here, we can get a little bit more granular, and we can actually go in and we can run what's called a ClickDimensions email click report. Within this report, this will actually show us all of the links that have been included within the template. And let's try that one more time. Let's pull this over here for a second while that report is generating. But that report is essentially, once it pulls up, it's just going to show us the links that we had within the template and who exactly clicked on those individual links within the campaign. So while that's running, we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk about the second method of actually sending out some of these campaigns. So let's go in and we're going to take a look at an automated process. Let me pull this open. So we're going to take a look at an automated process. This is another example that Aster has. They have a Garden Club loyalty program. So every time someone signs up for this loyalty program, they build points on, spending X amount within the store within, let's say a 6-month time period. Then they can receive additional coupons or special offers, promotions, things of that nature. And so what we've done here is we've built out an automated process. So every time someone signs up to be a part of this loyalty program, they'll start to receive a series of emails that we're sending out with some relevant content and promotions. So really quickly, just to kind of speak to how this is built out, we have our triggers or our series here on this right-hand side. So if we want to, we can just drag icons over and we just start to build out the campaign automation this way by connecting the dots. All right. So to kind of speak to this process that we've already built out here, we have a marketing list. Within this marketing list, every time someone signs up for our loyalty program, they're going to be automatically added to this marketing list. And what happens is once we add them to that marketing list, they're going to go through this first series where we can go in and we can say, all right, let's send them a welcome email. And how we do that is we go into actions and timers here, and we send out that welcome email. So on this right-hand side, you can see all the actions that you can add in within the template. So you can create follow-up tasks, you can send emails, you can place wait timers, and some of those other components. So once we send out that welcome email, we're now going to go in, we're going to wait a little bit, and we want to send them a 20% off savings pass. So again, we go in to add our actions. So we're going to wait 5 days. They signed up for our loyalty program. We sent them a welcome email. We're waiting 5 days. And now we're going to send them another email where they can receive 20% off selected items. From there, we're going to go in and we're going to say, all right, well, did they actually click on the link to view the pass? So they can either download it to their phone or print it out. And if they click to view the pass, we want to send them another email where we're inviting them into the department store to receive a free makeover. If they did not click on the pass, we're going to send them the savings reminder that they can utilize this coupon. and then we're going to kind of go on from there. So within our free makeover, we have a ClickDimensions landing page and form, which we're going to speak to here in a few moments, where they can submit it back and register to come in for a specific time to receive that makeover with one of our consultants in the department store. So what happens is you can build this out to have as many series, as many decision nodes within the campaign as needed. Now, this is kind of a mocked up campaign automation for our presentation today, but as individuals are being added to this loyalty campaign, it'll start to show us which percentage of our recipients are active within each phase of the campaign itself, all right? And then it'll also link directly back to their record within CRM, so we can view the information more so on the individual level and the interactions that they've had with some of our marketing campaigns. Now, you'll notice that all of the ClickDimensions functionality ties back to a CRM campaign. So the CRM campaign is kind of your all true up what's going on with a particular campaign. So in this case, we have our Garden Club loyalty program where we have our automated process, we have web content that's associated to it. So we have our subscription page, our landing page that has this form where they can register. And then if anyone registers for this particular event, it's pulling in their posted form here. Now to give you an idea, all of the ClickDimensions functionality rolls up to that campaign level within CRM. So from within this view, we can see how many page views have we had to our site that are associated to our loyalty program. Which email templates have we built out that are associated to this loyalty program. We can see any emails that have been sent. So if I just click on one of these icons, we can see all of these emails that have been sent out that are specific to this loyalty program, all right? So within this, oh, sorry about that, hit the back button twice. So within this, again, we can see all of our content. So we have our automated process that we set up for our loyalty members. We have the event that's within that campaign automation. But let's really quickly just take a look at what it looks like to build out a landing page or a form with ClickDimensions that you can embed in some of these automated campaigns. So within this area, web content, this is where you can create all of your forms, surveys, landing pages, and subscription pages. So in this case, we built out a landing page for individuals to register for a particular event at the store. So we just give it a name. We specify what we're creating. So again, in this case, a landing page. Then we specify our editor type. So we can either use our block editor or our freestyle editor. Those are two editors we have available with building out email templates. So they should look fairly familiar. And then again, it associates back to that CRM campaign, and then we just give it our domain. So from here, we can go into design. Once we're in design, we can actually start to build out the landing page itself. So you'll see this is our block editor. So we took a look at our drag and drop editor. This is kind of similar. Instead of dragging blocks over, it's all about right clicking. So right click to insert a block to the left, the right, above, or below. And then you can also go in and we could clear content and we could add in additional content, all right? So once we start to build out this landing page, you can see that we've embedded our form, which is in options. So if I just added I'm gonna add in a block here so everyone on the call can see what this looks like. If I right click on this block, I can hit add content and it takes me to this screen where we can add in HTML text. We can drop in a form or a survey that we've created, or we can add in text and an image. So if I click on a form or a survey and I hit next, it's then going to pull in a view of all of those forms or surveys that we've created within the environment, all right? So let me just close out of that and go back in so I don't have to save my changes there. So once we build out this landing page, we can, again, embed it directly within that email template, or also if it's something that we want to put out on our site to give individuals the opportunity to opt in to receive this free makeover, we could do that as well. So we can create a custom URL for it. We can embed it as a link, again, within an email or on our website potentially, or we can embed it as an iframe, just grab this code snippet and place it out on our site. So if I click embed as a link, this is what the actual landing page will look like. So just to give you an idea of how this data is tracking back into CRM, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to submit in this form, and I'm going to hit sign up. And then let's go back into CRM And what happens is behind form submissions, that data is automatically passed into CRM. If it's part of the campaign automation, that information will be passed over to campaign automation so we can see which series an individual needs to go down based around their form submission. But all of that data will again pass directly back into CRM. So we can see under posted forms here that marketing demo, the retail free makeover form was posted to our site and it's linked directly back to my record within CRM. So if I open this up, it'll pull in all those form fields that were submitted on the form for me to register for this particular event, and then it links directly back to my record within CRM. So if I click on my record, and again, everyone may on the call today be utilizing leads and contacts in different forms or fashions, but this is just what our contact form looks like at ClickDimensions. But just to give you an idea how all the data from ClickDimensions rolls up to that individual level, it all falls directly within this navigation area on the contact form. So what's key and what's important about this is you can start to build out your marketing list and leverage all of this ClickDimensions data that you have within CRM now. So we can go into my record here. We can see all forms that I've posted. So we want to get a marketing list together of everyone that's recently posted a form to register for this particular event. And we want to send them out an additional email. You can slice and dice this data any way that you would like. We could go in and see all of the emails that have been sent to me. Now, aside from that, it falls within the navigation, but we can also add fields or subgrids directly onto the form within CRM. So if we wanted to, we could go in and we could see all of the forms that I've posted to the site. If we scroll down a bit further, we can see all of the emails that have been sent to me, and we can see what kind of interaction I've had. So we can see it was delivered, if there were any opens, clicks, if it got caught in a spam filter, or if there were any unsubscribes associated to it. And then we can also see all of those individual pages that I was recently viewing on the site. All right, so this is just to kind of give you that 360 view from the individual level of exactly what's going on with some of those marketing campaigns. So we just submitted in that form to register for that particular event. Let's talk about where that tracks back into CRM so we can take a look at that. Now, with ClickDimensions, we offer this event management portion. So basically, we have an integration that works with Cvent, Eventbrite, GoToWebinar, and WebEx. So all you have to do is give ClickDimensions the credentials for those accounts. And every time you schedule an event through one of those connectors, it'll pass the data back to CRM through ClickDimensions. And it'll track back in something like this. So if we open up our retail fashion show, this is one that I put together, but it gives us an event name, a description of exactly what's going on for this fashion show. We can see when the event is scheduled to start, how long it's actually scheduled for. If it was done through one of our connectors, like Eventbrite or Cvent, for example, it would pull in what the source was here. And then we can also scroll down and we can associate this back to a campaign. Now, if we need to, we can customize this form and you can add in specific fields for particular events that you're hosting. Now, what happens is when individuals start to register for these events, we can then track it directly under the event record as an event participation. So you can see that I have my event participation record that has been established. And we can go into this and it just pulls in my event participation form. Now, if you're using things like Eventbrite, then you can actually scan in individuals as they are attending these events. So you can track back, we had X amount of individuals registered for the event and X amount actually attended the event itself. All right, now again, all of this is going to be outlined in our PowerPoint presentation that we'll send over after the call. So just in case some of you are trying to take notes around some of these cool features that you want to implement in your own organization, if you're using ClickDimensions today, we can always have a conversation after the webinar. Now, with that being said, the other component that we really see in the retail space is going to be SMS messaging. So as we're talking about things like events or receiving promotions, discounts, things of that nature, you can always reference back to text messaging or SMS messaging. So what happens here, and I did not put a sample one together for our call, but we'll just kind of go along with this. So what happens is ClickDimensions offers an integration between Twilio or bulk SMS. We have one other integration, but it's more so for our European clients. but typically in the US, you'll either use Twilio or bulk SMS. Now, with that, you give ClickDimensions the credentials for your account, very similar to our event integrations, and ClickDimensions will give you the ability to generate these text messages that you can send out. And what happens is you generate the text message, we send it over to Twilio, Twilio sends it out. If anyone responds, it passes that data back to ClickDimensions. So you give it a subject line when you want it to be sent out. We can also go in and we can associate it back to a campaign that we've created. So for like our garden club, if we wanted to send out all of our loyalty members a text message for 20% off if they come into the store today, for example, we could associate it back to that campaign. So very similar to like your emails, you can go into the body of the text here. You can start to specify your content. Under this area, we can then go in and grab our personalization. So again, just give it that more personalized look and feel. So if we wanted to grab someone's first name, it'll just drop that directly within that personalization within the text. So then we can go in and we can associate a marketing list of individuals. So we would associate that marketing list here. Again, in this case, it would be for our loyalty members, and we're going to send them out that promotion. We hit send, it passes it over to Twilio, and then Twilio sends out the text message. Now, it's very important to remember when you're using SMS messaging that you have to have a cell phone number on record for that individual within CRM. So we're leveraging, obviously, the telephone number or the cell phone number to send out the text message. So we need to make sure that that field is populated in order to send out the text message. All right. Now, so this is kind of a overview into what I had planned for our conversation today. I really did not want to take up the full hour, so I wanted to just give everyone a taste for what they can do with ClickDimensions. If you have any questions, we can go ahead and take those now. Also, I'll pull up my contact information here, so if anyone does have any questions and they would like to have more of a conversation around it or to see a presentation, feel free to reach out to me directly, allison.january@clickdimensions.com, or you can give me a call as well. All right. So while we're waiting to see if anyone has any questions, just for those of you on the call, I'm sorry, we're getting a little bit of feedback, but just for those of you on the call that would like to take a look at some resources that ClickDimensions has available. So if you are leveraging ClickDimensions today, just as a reminder, if you do need any training or if you're looking for resources to help out with a particular item, we do have the ClickDimensions Academy. This is where we can get started. So it's broken down into a few courses. Week 1 is email marketing with new courses starting every Monday. Week 2 is over web analytics, so our forms, surveys, our connectors, as well as we have our campaign automation course. Now, if you're feeling really excited about ClickDimensions, you can always go through the certification process, which is given once a month by Matt Whitteman, who's one of Microsoft's MVPs. Also, aside from that, one thing that I would recommend is we do have our category section here, so you can review any of the functionality that we discussed today, as well as our blog is a great resource for picking up tips, tricks, and ideas. So I saw an article out there the other day that was talking about millennials, why it's important to have that personalization, what type of personalization should you include within the email templates that you're sending out. So there's a lot of great relevant information that is out on our blog. Our marketing director does a great job updating it on a weekly basis. So typically we'll see maybe 2 to 3 posts per week out there on the blog. So again, I'm going to pull over my contact information. So if anyone has a question after the call, if you would like to continue the conversation around ClickDimensions and leveraging CRM, feel free to give me a call or send over an email.
All right, thank you so much, Allison. Thank you for all that great information. And I'm going to go ahead and end the call now. So hopefully everyone got Allison's info, and we'll also be sending the slide deck shortly.
All right, thank you.